Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fascinating puzzle today by the chiropractor, who we featured once before, and it was a very interesting puzzle, so I'm looking forward to this. Loads of stuff going on as usual. Do check out our Patreon. The Lockout Lines hunt there is great. It's called Padlocked. It features Tallcat, 2 to 10th, Riff Clown, a number of brilliant constructors have contributed. It really is worth a look. Some tough puzzles as well. Really entertaining stuff. Now, what else do we have going on? We have our streaming, of course, so that'll be coming up again soon. Look on our community page for details, or hit the bell icon so that you get alerted. And all the apps, including Sven's Sudoku Pad and the suite of apps that we have, that is available under the video, along with our merchandise and this puzzle, which is the first link. Now, in this puzzle, we have a king's move rule. That's clearly going to be important. And we have arrow Sudoku. Now, the king's move rule says that no digits within a king's move of each other can be identical. So a digit here would normally see all of these cells and say you can't be the same digit by normal Sudoku rules. Within a king's move Sudoku, it also sees those three cells. I'm talking about this one, because they are within one cell diagonally away. So that's how it works. It doesn't feel like a very powerful rule, certainly compared with a knight's move, which stretches further. But actually, when you combine it with other rules, it can make some very interesting deductions and logic. And that's, I think, what the chiropractor will have done here. He's combined it with arrow Sudoku, where the numbers along the arrow add up to the number in the circle. And that's what we have. You can have repeats. In fact, this one will have to have a repeat somehow. Anyway, those are the rules. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I'm going to have a go now. Let's get cracking. Yeah, okay, well, let's start here. This arrow is 4 cells long, and these three have to be different from each other. So the minimum they can be is 6. They could be 1, 2, and 3. This one, therefore, can't be more than 3. This has to be at least 7. And there has to be a 1 on those 3 arrows, on those 3 arrow cells, because now they're not adding up to more than 8 between them. And we're going to need a 1 to do that. Now, it's impossible for those two both to be 1s, but that's the only restriction I'm seeing from the arrow. Are they pointing up at this? Not very helpfully. None of these other arrows are 4 cells long, but there are some 3s. Those all have to be different, so that has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. That's not the case for this, because those could be the same. With these ones, these do have to be different because they're touching each other completely if you allow for the king's move rule. Same on that arrow. So 6, 7, 8, 9 is definitely true there. Same here, same here, same here, which, well, these last two were in a box anyway, so those arrows would always have to contain different digits. This is just a 2-cell arrow. This hasn't really got me very far. Oh, okay, think about the king's move thing then. What I've started to wonder, column 3 has got a lot of arrow cells in it. So, can we confine 7, 8, and 9 to these 3, I wonder? 7 cannot be on these arrows because although 7 could be on an arrow like this without the king's move rule, it could be there with 2 1s there. That's not allowed anymore. So that can't be 7, that can't be 7, that can't be 7. This can't be 7 for exactly the same reason. That can't be 7. None of these highlighted ones can be 8 or 9 either. But it's this one. That could be a 7 if this was 1 or 2. But then those couldn't be. This could even be an 8. I don't think that's working. I can't confine those to being 7, 8 or 9. Even if I think they will be. Okay, let's have another thing. There are a lot of arrow cells in column 3. The most they can add up to is 21, because there are 6 of them, and that's the triangular number. The 6th triangular number is 21. Put another way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, right, here, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. How am I not seeing that? I got put off by this king's thing. This is the group. Okay, these are important because there are 6 cells in column 3 on arrows. There are 5 cells in column 4. The 6 in column 3 have to add up to at least 21. That's what I was just saying. The 5 in column 4, which have to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add up to at least 15. 21 plus 15 is 36. But all of these green cells are representing the total of these 4 arrows, and the maximum they can be, that's lovely, is 36, because they can be 4 9s, and therefore they must be, if the maximum of those is the same as the minimum of the greens, that has to go inside. That's really nice. I mean, you can see that all those 9s are in different columns. I've never actually seen that done where, or not to my memory, where 6 cells and 5 cells, which have to be 21 and 15, add up to 4 9s. That's a very nice, what do I mean? Juxtaposition of maxima and minima. Interesting. Right. So that is a start. Now, what does that mean? Still, I mean, that hasn't changed anything. Putting 9 in a circle is the least restrictive digit. It means this isn't 9, this isn't 9, and that's not 9. Actually, what can we do with 9s? Oh, look, we can place the 9 in column 1, must be here. One of those is a 9. Oh, that's a 9. That's 9 can never be on a 2-cell arrow or longer. So there it was in row 2. There it is in row 5. Can we keep going? Yes, there it is in column 7. And that's the last 9 in the grid. Suddenly we've got all the 9s done. Right. Now, this arrow and this arrow must have a 1 on, because they can't be 9 anymore. And then what? This, oh, 1, I suppose they could be 1s. It can't have a repeated 1 anymore. It could have a 1 there though, so it could still be 5, I think. What do we know about these? These cells, these 2 cells, both see all of those surrounding 5 cells. There must be a repeated digit amongst these 6 cells, because you can't make 2 different combinations of 9. They have to be different cells, remember, every time, on all of these 9 arrows that I can see. Only these 2 arrows, I think, in the grid can have repeated digits. So on these ones, the individual arrow doesn't have any repeated digits, but they must repeat each other's digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there would add up to 21. So since they only add up to 18, there is a repeated digit, at least 1. There could be 2, but those 2 cannot be the repeated digits. They must occur in those areas. Oh, and we're not using any more than 2 of any of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're only using 1, 6. And does that mean, yeah, that means you can't have 2 of these 9 arrows having the same combination of digits. There are 3 combinations of digits which can be on a 9 arrow where they have to be different. 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 4. Now, each combination of those shares a digit with the other. So if 2 of these were the same, say that had 1, 2, 6 and that had 1, 2, 6, this wouldn't work because you'd have used 1 and 2 twice. And this remaining arrow would need a third 1 or 2, but it's still in columns 3 and 4. So I think, yeah, that definitely means these 3 are different. So they contain, well, they contain 1, 6, 1, 5, and 1, 4. And therefore, in these groups of cells, which contain 1, 6, 2 5s and 2 4s, we're left with a 5 and a 4 unused, and they must make up this 9. Is that all I get from that? It can't be. No, both of those 2 cells, using the King's move rule, they see these 2 cells. So they can't be 4 or 5. They could be 6, though, annoyingly. And this could be a 4 or 5 itself, as long as it was the same as that. Oh, come on. What else does that mean? Nothing. Oh, I just need to see what this means. This is important. There's only 1 repeat. No, there could be 2 repeated. There can't be 2 repeated digits now, because they would have to be in those 2 cells and those 2 cells, and the arrows would be the same arrows. That's nonsense. So there's only 1 repeated digit up here. And it is not in those 2 cells. Maybe I need to think about what this can be, but it can be, oh, well, it can't be 6, because there is no 6 in that group. I think it can be 5 or 4, going with either 1, 3 or 3, 2. But it can also be, can it be 3? Probably not. I can't see. 3 would have to go with 1, 5 or 2, 4, and that's not possible there. Can it be 2? Yes, going with 1, 6, or 1 going with 2, 6. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they could have a 6. It could be 6, 2, 1 up here. Either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 with a repeated 3, or, oh, hang on, this can't be 1, 2, 6 now, or we'd have too many 1, 2, 3, 6s. Ah, therefore, this is either 1, 3, 5 or 2, 3, 4, and there's a 3 in it. So there's not a 3 here. And that means this has to be a 1, 2, 6 arrow, because whatever's adding up with those 2 to 9 goes in here. So that is a 1 or a 2 now. This is the 1, 2, 6 arrow. So we have a repeated 3 up here in in 2 of those positions. Everything else is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Do we know if this is either 3, 2, 4 or 3, 1, 5. So we're going to use up the 2 and the 1 in the box. And the 3. So these cells are from 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's not very helpful. What about this 4 and 5? One of those has a 4 and one of those groups has a 5. I don't see how to use that. Oh, look, now I've got finally, I do prove that these three cells are 9, 7, and 8. Actually, I probably did prove that as soon as I filled in that one as 4 and 5. First thing I was looking at. And this is a 6, 7, 8 combination. And whatever this is can't be in those two cells. So it must be here. I'm going to just colour them in case that helps. They could be that, or they could be in one of those two cells. So if that's 1, 3, 5, 2, 6, these are from 4, 7, 8. But if it's 1, 3, that was 1, 3, 5. If it's 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, those could be a 5. It's not all that helpful, actually. Right, what next? Now there must be a 3 on these arrows. They are... Okay, so that uses up the 3s for boxes 1 and 2. So there becomes a 3 in one of those places in box 3. Doesn't really prove a lot. Haven't really done much with this arrow. I expected this to be very helpful, but maybe I need to think about these two arrows a bit more now. Have I learnt anything? Not really. That number must be in one of those two places, but it's not really useful information. These can't include a 6, can they? Doesn't feel like that's wildly helpful. Oh, this is no longer 9. So actually these don't have a 5 either. They are from 1, 2, 3, and 4. This can't be a 3. Oh, well, that's got more interesting. If that's now 1 or 2. Yeah, these must include a 2. They can't add up to more than 7 because you've got to add something there to get to whatever this is. So they're either 1, 2, 4 or 1, 2, 3. Now this can't be 1 or 2. It's become a long odds favourite to be the 3 out of these two cells, but I don't know that. It can go up to 5. This again can't be 8. Actually, it can't be 5 because that would put 1, 2 here and make that cell impossible. So that is now 3 or 4, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 triple. And 5 must be in one of these two cells, which are from 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, come on, what else? What else is going on here? Right, this adds up to 5, 6, 7, or 8 with a 3 or a 4 already there. The most these can add up to is 5. So they're from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they're definitely going to use 1 or 2, as is that, because otherwise there'd be too much. Oh, and they must be at least 1 and 3 because of this. So the minimum this can be now is 7. Oh, it's no, oh, missed the same trick again. 3 cells in that column which have to add up to at least 6. 4 cells in this column which have to add up to at least 10 is 16. And the most these two circles can be is 16. Oh, honestly, hornswoggled twice by the same blinking trick. Right, that is now 6 or 7. So this is, there's no, oh, there could be a 3 on it. But it's from 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's a quadruple. So these are from 5, 6, 7, and 8. But we can do a very nice king's thing here. Look at those 3 cells, which are a 5, 6, 7 triple. They all see this cell. that one by the king's move, and those two because they're in the same box. So that can't be any of that triple, 5, 6, and 7. That must be an 8, which I like. I don't know if it'll help at all, but it's a really neat kingy thingy. So 5 is definitely in one of these. And they see that cell as well. That's not that useful. So this is either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. The other one is here. Could still go 3. Oh, this definitely makes 8 now, and so does this. So if that's 1, 2, 3, that's a 2. Then you have 4, 1, 3. If, on the other hand, this is 1, 2, 4, that's a 1. Then you have 3, 2, 3. So there's no 4 here, which I should have known because that's 1, 2, and 3. There must be a 3 used here. Yes, in one of those two cells. And actually, oh no, I was going to say, if that's a 4, this is 1, 3. Oh, it's quite interesting. I can remove a 2 from here. If that's a 4, there's no 2 in those two cells. If that's a 3, this is a 2, 3 pair, and the 3 can't go there. It would have to go here, so that's not a 2. I don't know. I mean, again, another kingy thingy that doesn't really get a lot done. So 1 and 2 have to be here. Now we're close to getting some sort of combination going there. I wish I knew which of these 9s was which. They're not 1, 2, 6. So one of them is 1, 3, 5, and one of them is 2, 3, 4. I mean, is there anything distinguishing them? Oh yeah, there is. There is. There's this same kingy thingy. Right. Where does 5 go? In the top row. It can't go in those cells. So it's in one of those. Now they all see this cell. So that can't be a 5. And lovely. There's a 5 definitely in one of these two cells because of this 5, 6, 7 triple. That can't be a 5. There's definitely a 5 in one of those two. So they can't be a 5 either. And suddenly I do know that this can't be 1, 3, 5 because none of the cells can have a 5 in it. That is the 2, 3, 4 version. This is the 1, 3, 5. What's that going to do? Nothing there. 2, 3, 4. Does it change this into a 1 magically? Doesn't, does it? 5 is in one of those cells. Come on, this matters. Oh, I can't see how it matters. The 1, 2, 3 triple. These others are 4, 5, 6, and 7. No, the one at the bottom is not 6 or 7 because it's got 6, 7, 8 triple. Four or 5 here. Okay, let's go back up here. If this was a 5, that would be 1, 3. That would be 2, 4. That would be a 1. If that was a 4, that would be 2, 3. That would be a 1 this time. Ah, which would make that a 5. Yeah, hang on. If that's a 4, that becomes a 3. Then these have to be 2, 3. And it's impossible. If that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 2, but we need a 2 here. So that can't be a 4. Bingo. 2 there. That's now a 3, 4 pair. This can't be a 3. That doesn't resolve this. It could be 4, 1, 3 or 3, 2, 3. But this can't be a 1 now. That is a 3. Oh, come on, this must do more than that. 2 there. This can't be a 2. There must be a 2 in one of those two cells because this is either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. Oh yes, look, these don't have a 2 on. So the 2 in the 1, 6, 2 arrow is here. That puts a 2 here, I think. So this is now a 2, 3, 4 arrow. That can't be 2, 3 or 4. That is a 1. That's not the most helpful digit. That makes that a 6. So we can put a 1 here just by Sudoku. This can't be a 1 by the king's move. Don't forget the king's move. 3, 2, 8. Oh, there's lots to see here. Okay, I'm not going to pick things up as quickly as you are because I'm not quite sure what to look at yet, and you've probably spotted something. I will get there, don't worry. Right. 2, 3, 4 pair. These don't have a 3 on. So they're 1, 2, 4. So that's a 7. So there's a 6 up there. That's probably not interesting. 3, 9, 8, 7, 1, 2, 4. So these are a 5, 6 pair. Which both see this cell, for instance. 9, 1, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. So that is 4 or 7. Which might not help immediately, but it's interesting. Oh, in this row we can fill in 7 and 1. 1. So that's not a 1. Gosh, I'm hitting the wrong keys all the time. Getting overexcited. That doesn't do... Oh yes, look, that 1 makes this a 1 in box 8. Ah, well now these two, we must know their sum. They're 2 and 4. Which they were ever since that became a 3. That's the sort of thing I'm not spotting quickly. But 2 and 4 there both see that cell, so that's not a 4. That's not an 8 anymore. Oh, come on. What? Yes, that's not a 1. So 1 is in one of those two places. And one of those 3. 3, 4, 5, triple. I don't know what that means. Right. Again, I'm probably still just not catching up with stuff that you're easily able to see. But I mean, a lot has happened here, so do forgive me. That can't be a 6. In fact, 6 is now in one of those two cells. And one of those two, which is quite interesting because it's also in one of those two. So there's a 6 in one of those 3 in column 8. That can't be a 7. That is in fact a 5, 6 pair, just as that is. So those two have to be the same. Let's just colour them. Look at row. Oh, that can't be a 4. It sees a 3, 4 pair. 3, 4, so 5, 7 and 8. That is 5 or 8. That is 5 or 7. In fact, this is the only spot for 8 in the row. 3, 2, 8. So this is 4, 5 or 6. 8. The only place for 8 in this box is here. Because that 8 is seeing all the other remaining possible spots. So that's not an 8. Now we've got a 4, 5, 6, 7 quad. So that's 2. This must be a 3. That's also part of a 4, 5, 6, 7 quad. Let's just keep going here gradually. 4 and 6 are in those, and they both see this cell. Not that helpful. Ah, no, one of those is a 5, and they both see this cell, so that is 2 or 3. That's getting... Oh, look, this 4 is looking across there. That's quite significant. That 5 looks up there. 7, 8, 5. We get a 7 in the purple, so we know purple is 7. And that actually means there's a 7 in one of those two cells, which doesn't do anything at the moment. Oh yes, this is a 6. 8 there, so that's not a 6. 8, 8. Ah, one of those is 8. Don't know which one. But I do know this isn't 7. It's 6 or 8. Doesn't, it could be 1, 2, 3 or 1, 3, 4. So there's a 3 on the arrow. That has become a 3. That puts 3 there. This is now a 1, 5 pair. So then there's a 4, 6 pair in the row. That makes this a 1. That's got to be very helpful. It sorts out the 1, 5 pair. This is now a 2, 4 pair. 5 and 6 here, we can fill them in. 7 and 8 here, we can fill them in. That makes this circle a 6. We can put the 1 there, 3 and 2 on the arrow. We've got 4 and 8 to complete the box. I think we're getting there now. This has been an odyssey and a really enjoyable one. Ah, look, 5 and 7 both looking at that blue cell, so that's a 6. So the blues became 6s. We can place the other 6 now. That's a 5. This isn't a 6. That's all I know about it. Those aren't 7s, so 7 is there in the box. 5. We've got a 4, 7 pair left. It's funny how some of these pairs don't unwind quite yet. Now 3, that 3 sees all those cells, and that one sees another one. So 3 must come down here. This has become a 5. 2 here. 3 here. We can do 5 and 6. Now we can do 4 and 6. We've got a 4 to fill in the column. 7 and 5. 7 and 4, 2 and 4, and there must be a 2 and a 1. And there we go. Lovely puzzle. Really entertaining from the chiropractor. Let's get rid of those fairly pointless colours. And that was excellent. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, as a fish hook, I was the fish on the bait the whole time. I'm sure that's because it looks like a fish hook rather than because a sucker gets reeled in, but that pretty much happened with myself. That's really good puzzle. I mean, how I was not seeing that. I think the King's Move distracted me from seeing the totals of those and then later the totals of those, which were definitely on the solution path. But that was really good fun. You may well have solved that quicker than I did. Well done. If you did, no problem from me there. But enjoyed it a lot. So do check out everything else around the channel, and I hope to see you again soon on it. Bye for now.